Hello. Hey there, friend. Welcome to the video that you clicked on that says, I don't know what fucking hotkeys are. Well, guess what? I'm here to help you be your guide. Let's do it, dude. Check it out. Look. Okay, so first things first, click the button behind my chair on the screen. It's called Menu. Hit Options. This will take you to the Hotkeys button on the bottom right. It's right behind Subs Today. Click that. And then, now you're in now shit gets serious, okay? This is where you don't want to fuck anything up. Don't touch anything unless I tell you to. You can hit create profile if you want to. Call it whatever the fuck you want. You can make your profile template standard. This is what I based mine off of. Standard. Now, I changed my hotkeys once I made a profile template. That way, it's nice to make a profile because if you don't like what you did, you can always delete the profile, start over again, and go back to using one of these. That's fine. Now, let's see what we did. Okay, this is what I did. I went to global, camera, and I rebound base camera from backspace to spacebar. Okay, that's one of the first things I did. I fucking hate who the hell hits backspace? Do we have Dalsim playing StarCraft 2? I don't think so. I don't have 20-inch fingers, okay? Fuck backspace. Spacebar is much more realistic for us normal human beings. Secondly, I changed my camera hotkeys. This is the big one. This is the big part of my hotkey setup that makes my hotkeys mine. And I don't think anyone else does this, or I don't know anyone else who does it. Well, it doesn't matter. I made these myself. Now, create location 1, 2, 3, 4 is F7, F6, F5, and F8. Okay, so what that means is, excuse me, sorry. Whenever I hit F8, F6, F7, F5, whatever, whenever I hit any of these F keys, wherever my camera is looking at, if I hit that button, whatever it jump to is bound to create location 1 and jump to location 1. They're the same thing. They use the same thing. So one creates it, two, or then the other one goes to it. If that makes sense. So if I hit F8 and I'm looking at my main base, it'll create a location to my main base. And now let's say I drag my mouse over to the middle of the fucking map, and then I hit back mouse button or forward mouse button, it'll jump to the location of my base. For location 2, let's say it's F5, let's say that's my natural, and jump to location 2 is Q. Let's say I hit F5 looking at my natural, and I move my mouse to my fourth base. If I hit Q, it'll jump to my natural where I bounded at. That's how camera hotkeys work. So I rebound four camera hotkeys, and what it is basically is location 1 is my rally point hotkey. It changes all game based on what I'm doing. 2, 3, and 4 are my main base, my natural, and my third base. That's all it is. And you don't have to hit these. Like when I say I changed it all game for F8, what I mean by that is I change it probably a total of like 2 times throughout the entire game of like 20 minutes. It's not like every fucking 10 seconds I'm changing the hotkey. It's because it's like a rally point setup where you're grabbing units and setting them in places. So that's how that goes. So F5 is binding my main base, F6 is binding my natural, F7 is binding my third, and then QWE is bound to going to my main base, going to my natural, going to my third, which if you ever watch me play StarCraft and I rotate bases like crazy, I'm literally rotating my fingers on QWE the whole time. Now, for those APM whores out there, this does not make your APM go up, okay? Camera hotkeys don't actually count for APM. I just want you to know that. So if you fucking think rolling your fingers on QWE, if you make my hotkeys, that it's going to make your APM go up to 1,000, it won't. It won't. I'm just letting you know right now. It doesn't do that. But it will, if you get good at it, it will definitely make your injects better. It'll make your base management better. Because this is how I defend multiple bases at the same time. I literally rotate camera hotkey base 3, base 1, base 3, base 1. Oh, now he's hitting base 2, base 3, base 2, base 3, base 2. It's really easy to bounce between bases and different bases. Now, so that's camera. That's it for camera. Now we're going to go down to unit management. Also, thank you very much for the sub, Kilani. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you very much, man. I unbound select all army. F2 is select all army, right? I made that my patrol hotkey. It's now my patrol. If you don't want to unbind select all army, you don't have to do that. You can leave it bound to something if you want to. You can leave it F2 if you wanted to. I don't really care. I just basically almost never use select all army. I very rarely will use it. I would say I use it the most when I play Terran because I suck at Terran. But with Protoss and Zerg, I barely ever use it. Like, maybe once in like 4 games. Because I use control groups instead for a lot of shit. Now, this is a big one right here. This is huge. Choose ability or AI target. I bound that to T, which is rapid fire. And this basically what it does is it makes a key on the keyboard do the same thing as your left click on your mouse. So if you hold down a key on the keyboard, imagine how fast that key will repeat itself compared to how fast you can click your mouse. That's why it's called rapid fire. You can do it super fast. Because you're just going holding the key down. And if you don't know what any of this means, you can go to my stream right now if you're already watching it, whatever. You can just type in !rapid fire in my stream chat. Nightbot will take you to a video that literally explains how to set up rapid fire even further. And easy peasy. Yeah. And no space, by the way. It's just !rapid fire, no spaces. Okay. Now, going on to the races. So, Protoss and Terran, my hotkeys are based off of Zerg, by the way. I just kind of filled it in based off of how I play Zerg. And I had to rearrange some shit because of QWE. Camera hotkeys, it's going to unbind a lot of your buttons. Now, I bound things like for instance, like making a gas is now D, making a baneling is now V, making a roach or a ravager, I don't know if that's something else before, but mine's V. Like a lot of my shit, like basically I use V a lot. You can use the same hotkey multiple times, by the way. So like all my evolve keys are V. V make Broodlord. V make fucking make Lurker. Or B, it's actually B for Broodlord. Okay, so just kidding, dude. It's but it's V for Lurker, it's V for Baneling, and it's V for Ravager. Okay? Those are legit. It's also V for Larva Inject. So you can use the same hotkey multiple times. And anything in the game that I want to rapid fire, I bound T as a secondary to. The only thing I can't rapid fire is creep tumors on a queen because T is also transfuse. And I don't want to change that because I don't mind it being T for transfuse. Even though I don't rapid fire transfuse. You don't just keep this in mind too. Just because T is my rapid fire hotkey does not mean everything gets rapid fired because it's T. You have to hold it down for a bit, like a tiny bit. But if I just tap it, it does not rapid fire. Now, other things that I have set up are I have, like, for instance, like so even though my queen itself can't rapid fire creep tumors out of herself, I can go to a creep tumor itself, the actual active tumor, and I can bind that to T. So I can actually select like 15 creep tumors and go. I can just spread them all in like 1 second by just flailing my mouse around the edge of my creep, and then suddenly 15 tumors go all over the place. I rebound T to Burrow for Spine Crawler and Spore Crawler. So if I'm ever doing a siege, or if I'm ever sieging someone with static D and creep, like if I'm sieging a Skytoss player, for instance, I can rapid fire Burrow all of my Spine Crawlers and all of my Spore Crawlers, so I don't have to literally go T click or like root click. I can just go super fast. Infested Terran used to be my rapid fire for Infestor, but they deleted that ability out of the game and gave us this biggest pile of crap ability that ever has existed. I might as well unhockey this because it's literally that garbage. You get the point though. But I just rebound everything to make myself feel good about it. Whatever hotkeys you think make you feel good. So like the other things I'll try to catch them all, but like for instance Queen used to be Q, it's now F for me. For like my larva, I don't know if any of these are not what the default was. I honestly can't remember. I don't know what Viper initially is. I think Viper might be a QWE, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, those are my hotkeys for those. You can just pause the video, I guess, right here, and you can see my hotkeys for that. Like I said before, I rebound patrol to F2. This is a big one too. I think default StarCraft 2 leaves you with does it still, I can't remember if it still does this, but if you still have burrow as R and up burrow as R, fuck that. That sucks ass. Because of the way Blizzard reworked burrow, they made it no longer have subgroups when you're burrowed or not burrowed. It's all just one group now. So you fucking need 2 separate hotkeys for that. It's so obnoxious otherwise. So my burrow is always R and my up burrow is always D, except for the swarm host because this shit is bugged and it's going to be R for up burrow because it's fucking broken. Blizzard fix it right now. I also made caustic spray have a rapid fire for T. It's also C, but it also has a rapid fire for T. I made Ravager, same thing. It's C by default, and I made it have a rapid fire for T. It also has multiple hotkeys. Yeah. Yep. And that's pretty much Zerg in a nutshell. If you want to see how I group my units, just once again go back to my stream and type !Zerg groups, all one word, and 2 G's. And that'll teach you how I bind my control groups and how I use control groups. But for this, again, this video is just about hotkeys, so I'm not going to go into that. For Terran and Protoss, same thing. I don't really have to talk about my hotkeys because they're just, I literally just filled them in. I just like, okay, I'll make it V. I'll make it fucking T. I'll make it whatever. Just fill it in however you want because just know you are going to lose some hotkeys when you have Q, W, and E all bound to camera hotkeys. There are plenty of hotkeys in the game that are literally Q, W, E. Like, for instance, my build engineering bay, I'm pretty sure that is BE. Like, build engineering bay for E, like BE. But now mine's BD because I don't have E available because it's a camera hotkey. If you don't, I mean, here's the thing. If you're like, well, Vibe, why do I have to change my hotkeys for my buildings from QWE just because I have camera hotkeys? Imagine this. Imagine if E is bound to your third base and you're trying to build an engineering bay in your main base and you're hitting BE every time. What's going to happen is every time you want to build that fucking building, it's going to go to your third base and you're going to be like, no, I don't want to build it there. You're going to hit E again, it's going to go to your third base. I don't want to build it there. You're going to hit E again, it's going to go to your third base, and it's going to keep happening over and over and over, and it's going to make you fucking crazy. So don't put fucking hotkeys on camera hotkeys. Don't do that if you want to use my hotkey setup. In general, you shouldn't do that at all. But most people use F keys for camera hotkeys, which is why that usually run into that problem. And then things that I rapid fired for Terran was I rapid fired Reaper grenades. I rapid fired Snipe. I rapid fired Cyclone lock-ons. I rapid fired Liberator sieges. Unsiege doesn't matter, but sieges do. Imagine if you have 15 Liberators in your army and you're going to like set up a choke point like really fast. You don't want to be going like Liberator mode, click, 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 click. You don't want to be doing that. You just want to maybe go hold T for like literally 1 second. It goes, it just does it all really fast, and then all your Liberators siege in that area. And you can even move your mouse left and right, like wave it a little bit, so your Liberator fields spread a little bit. Super easy. Auto turret is by default T, so I can rapid fire that. And also, that's it. There's one more thing for Terran that I have rapid fired. It's mules. I actually bound mule to rapid fire as well. Or no, wait, no, I know what I did. Just kidding. I did not. The reason why is because of halt. If you bind mule to T, it fucks up like halt for some reason. And mule's an exception because it's like a part of the building thing. It's part of your building list, of your structures list, and it's not part of the units list. So what you can do, if you ever have a fucked up hotkey, here's a cool trick. I do the same thing with inject, by the way. If I want to rapid fire injects or if I want to rapid fire mules, I do it the same exact way. Listen to me right now, and if you don't understand it, back the video up and listen to me again, and it will make sense. It will eventually click in your brain. Here it is. If you hit your hotkey for, let's say, mule, they all work the same exact way. Let's say I have my mule clicked in. So I hit V for my mule, which is my hotkey for mule. I hit V, which is not my rapid fire hotkey. My mouse now goes into a target that I can now click a mineral line with, and it will drop a mule on it. While my mouse is a target, if I hold shift, mouse over the mineral line, and then hold T, it'll go like mule jackpot. Just tons and tons of mules coming down. The exact same thing happens with inject. My V is also my inject hotkey. If I select the queen, hit V so my mouse turns into the target, I mouse over the hatchery. I don't click it. I just mouse over it. I hold shift and T, it'll start spam injecting my hatchery, and I can launch 200 energy into a hatchery in a matter of 1 second. So you can hold shift and rapid fire anything, because rapid fire still acts as a mouse click. You can just hold shift if your hotkey doesn't align with it, if you want to rapid fire something that you couldn't bind to a rapid fire otherwise. And for Terran, the reason why you can't bind mules to rapid fire is because of the halt command for SCVs. And for Zerg, the reason why you can't rapid fire inject is because, for me, I don't mind not doing it that way, because my transfuse is T, and I've been a Zerg player since 2010, so I'm super fucking ingrained in my ways with T being transfused. It has to be transfused. My brain would fucking melt otherwise. And then that's it for Terran. And for Protoss, it's the exact same thing. Just fill in the hotkeys however you want. Whatever you want to do. I literally just filled it in as I wanted to. Like, V is a lot of shit. Any button that seems like it makes sense. Like, V is always my transport mode, and F is my phase mode for my prism. Same thing with oversight, with observers and overseers and shit like that. That's actually FT, just kidding. I can't remember. But yeah, you get the point, okay? It doesn't really matter. I use pretty basic hotkeys on Protoss. It's just whatever got changed because of QWE, I fixed it. Like, build pylon, I'm pretty sure that used to be, once again, BE, but now it's BD. You just fucking fill it in however you feel like makes sense. The concept I like to go with is keep your hand on the left side of the keyboard. Do not make fucking build pylon BL or like BK or BM or BI. Don't fucking do that. That sucks ass. Just like, oh, this is another thing too. In that exact same concept, I made Ultralisk then BX instead of BU. Who wants to hit BU all the time? Fuck that. It's kind of far away. Okay. Again, we're not Dulcium. We don't have long fingers, and the further you reach, the more fucked up you usually will be. It'll definitely feel awkward. You hit the wrong button a lot. So I made my Ultralisk Cavern BX because there's no building bound to X, so I just made it X. Easy peasy. But just feel it. Like, I like to keep my hand on the left side of the keyboard as much as possible when I'm just spamming with my keyboard hand. And then that's it. And then for rapid fire things that I did for Protoss, I bound rapid fire to okay, not much for Protoss, honestly. I bound it to a disruptor. I bound rapid fire to disruptor because there are moments in time when if you want to, let's say there's no army nearby, but you want to blow up a building. Why not fucking rapid fire it? Boom, there you go. There's 10 disruptor shots in 1 second that you just shot out, and you can blow up a building with that really fast. It saves you time. I did the same thing with gravity beam for Phoenix. I rapid fired that. So I can now literally fly over. If I have like 20 Phoenix and I fly over a full middle line of drones, I can hold T and I can mouse over all the drones, and it will just be like just picking up everything. And they'll die super fast if you have that many Phoenix anyways, so it's great. I do the same fucking thing when I have Phoenix in my composition versus like Hydralisk or Lurkers. I can like A-move my ground army towards them, and I can mouse over whatever I want to pick up and just drag my mouse over it as I just rapid fire across them, and all my Phoenix will just pick shit up. Like, it's super fast in a line. And then that's pretty much it for Protoss. There's nothing else that really needs to be rapid fired. It's really just Phoenix and disruptors. Everything else can be done like one by one by one by one. Otherwise, it's going to be really wasteful. Like, you don't want to, you do not want to rapid fire anything off the Sentry. That would be fucking terrible. You can't rapid fire Blinks at all or Adept Shades. You can't do that. It's impossible. Like, it has cooldowns. Everything else kind of has like cooldowns essentially, or it takes like cast times. Like the Oracle, for instance, you can't rapid fire stasis wards. You would never want to fucking turn on and off the beam. And Revelation is like, you don't want to rapid fire that either because it's a debuff duration. You don't want to just like spam that out. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Protoss is, again, I just based it off my Zerg hotkeys. Like, so QWE is my camera hotkeys for everything. That's the biggest part about all of this, and the rapid fire aspect. Oh yeah, the warpins, thank you. So the last thing I will say I do for Protoss is, once again, for Gateway, you can't bind, like, I don't want to personally bind T to a warpin, essentially. Like, or I don't want T to be a, like, the fact that T is Templar, I could literally hold down T and I could mouse over the pylon field and I could warp in a bunch of Templars. That could totally happen. However, all you have to do, it's the exact same concept as Terran for Mules and Zerg for Injects. For Protoss, if let's say I want to build a bunch of Zealots, let's say I have 15 gateways and I want to build 15 Zealots right now. All you got to do is select your warp gates, hit Z for Zealot, Your mouse turns into a zealot in your hand. You mouse over a warpin pylon field. You do not click it. You do not click at all here. You just mouse over it. You hold shift. And once again, T. Right? After you hold shift, you then hold T so that it doesn't deselect the zealot. And then you just drag your mouse around the pylon field and it will go like just zealots like crazy all in the fucking pylon field. So all 3 races have a macro mechanic version of rapid fire, which has just been explained. And that's pretty much it. That's how I have my hotkey set up for all 3 races. Again, the biggest thing of all is this camera, right here. This page right here is the most important one. That is the most important one because QWE and then what the back mouse and forward mouse button means is it's literally the buttons on the side of my mouse right here. I have a Death Adder and it has literally 2 buttons on the side of the mouse, and both of them are bound to my rally point hotkey. Just so I can literally I can just press my thumb into the fucking side of my mouse for a split second, and it goes to my rally point. If I'm ever doing a strategy that I'm doing something really aggressive with, and I'm just trying to throw units everywhere, I usually will do it then with something like that. So hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you guys liked it. Fiddle around with it yourself if you want to try it yourself. With camera hotkeys, I'm telling you right now, are fucking amazing once you get used to them. It's going to be really hard if you've never used them before to get used to it initially, but once you get used to them, it is amazing. It feels so good because you'll play the game so much cleaner. And last thing I'll say, yo, players out there, everyone, you should do this. Everybody do this, okay? I want to make this in my next Bronze Gym video, but see this right here? See drag scroll speed? Turn that shit up from 20% to 50%. Do yourself a favor and do that. If you don't have that already, just do that. That way, if you're someone who does not use camera hotkeys, at least that will make you play 10 times faster. Don't be that guy that like slowly rotates his screen super fucking slow because it's just fucking bad. It's super bad. 50% is very manageable, but it's also very fast compared to 20. Anything above 50, it starts getting a bit ridiculous. Like you won't even see what the fuck you're looking at. It goes ridiculously fast. But this is huge. That's huge. You should definitely turn that up a bit. 20 is way too low, and by default, StarCraft puts you on 20. So, anyways, guys, I hope this helps. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in more videos that will hopefully help you get better at the game. But until next time, take it easy. Thanks for watching, and peace out, guys. See ya.